Hey everybody, Gene Daddy here again, and I wanted to do a quick video regarding voter registration. I wanted to share a story and tell you how, in my opinion, the most secure way would be to ensure your voter registration if you are not voter registered to vote as yet. Back in 1996, back in the last century, I was living in Boston and I moved back to New Jersey. I don't remember whether I was registered in Massachusetts at the time when I lived there, but when I moved back from Massachusetts, I was living in Newark, New Jersey, and it just so happened one day I was walking down Broad Street in Newark and I happened to pass City Hall. On the steps of City Hall were two individuals who were business dressed. There was a man and a woman. They looked Hispanic. And the guy had on a suit. The woman had on a, professional suit type dress type thing. They had a table set up and they were registering, quote unquote, registering people to vote. Now, I went ahead and filled out the voter registration forms and turned it over to these people who were standing right there. When it came time, this was during the summer. This was during the summer of 1996. When it came time for the fall, I can't remember who or what election it was. If anybody knows, you can put that in the comment section. I don't know if it was a presidential election. Might have been presidential. But when it came time to vote, my address at the time, I was living in Newark, 765 South 10th Street in Newark at the time. And I got no ballot. And I was like, well, what's going on here? The election came and went and I got no ballot. And I was like, I was kind of baffled. So I didn't know exactly how to go about the process, but somebody, I must have brought the issue up to someone and someone probably said, hey, call the Board of Elections. So I called the Board of Elections in Newark and I told them the situation. I said, hey, I thought I registered. There was this couple on the steps of City Hall and they were, according to them, they were registering people to vote. So long story short, the person at the county clerk's office said to me that there are a lot of scams out there. She said you have to beware because there are a lot of scams. There are people who claim to be registering people to vote, but are collecting the voter registration forms, but not actually turning them in. So, and she recounted to me the story of an individual who was caught doing the same thing. He was allegedly registering people to vote, was not turning in the forms. Somehow he must have been, somebody must have called it in or whatever the case may be. And she said apparently they found, bundles of voter registration forms in the trunk of this guy's car, But either way, my registration was not active when I thought I was actively registering myself with these two people on the steps of City Hall in Newark. So she said the best way to do it, the best way to ensure that you are registered to vote is to go directly to your county clerk's office and register at the Board of Elections office. That is the direct way to register to vote. Do not leave it up to anyone else. And not saying that these systems are perfect, because obviously with all of this mail-in voting and so forth, and with all the shenanigans and finagling that's going on with ballots being tossed out, not turned in, and ballot harvesting and all of this other kind of stuff, we can only hope that there is some glint of integrity, that if we go directly to the Board of Elections office, wherever that may be, at your county clerk's office, at City Hall, wherever it is, that you get that taken care of directly. Now, the thought came to me that strategically, the same way they're doing ballot harvesting is the same way they could strategically do essentially ballot unharvesting, where you register a group of people in a particular district and you do not turn in the voter registration forms, you thereby disenfranchise that particular district or area by taking the vote away from them, by not having them be able to vote. So, in summation, do it the direct way, even with this mail-in voting crap. From what I know, there are essentially collection boxes for the ballots that are mailed out. In other words, do not trust the postal system to get your ballot from your hands to the Board of Elections. Take it as directly as you can to the Board of Elections, either the county clerk's office, wherever they have it, or one of those collection boxes where they collect the ballots. Do it that way. You be your own middleman. You take it directly to the source. If you get your ballot in the mail, you fill out your ballot and you take it yourself directly, or someone in your household who you deem a responsible individual to carry that thing from point A to point B to the Board of Elections or their prescribed collection box. Do it that way. Do not trust an intermediary. As we just saw this week or last week, there were some ballots that were clearly Republican, which is also another thing to worry about. On the ballot form, it will say whether it is going to a Republican or a Democrat voter. So they know who the votes or the ballots are coming from. And if they want to sabotage that, they have an overt method of being able to discern who and potentially how someone is voting. Obviously, if someone, just because they're registered Republican or Democrat, does not mean they're necessarily going to vote party line, but you never know. So anyway, in summation, do it directly. If you get your mail-in ballot in the mail, take the direct route, take it directly to the Board of Elections. If you cannot do that, put it directly in a mail ballot collection box. Do not, if you can avoid it, send it through the mail, through the U.S. Postal Service. So that's my 2 cents. Fight amongst yourselves in the comment section mosh pit. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and I'm Gene Daddy, and I am out.